Ladies and gentlemen, it has been almost 5 years since the initial release date of Cyberpunk 2077. And you might be asking yourself in 2025, if you have not played this game already, is this worth my time? With the rocky launch that CD Projekt Red had in 2020, primarily on consoles, a lot had been left to desired, but I'd say both from a PC and console perspective. Now, with the product that I present to you today, this is the final version of CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077. You'll see the footage is captured on a Nvidia RTX 4070 Ti Super and a Ryzen 5 7600X. With the footage here displayed, we are using DLSS quality with ray reconstruction, part tracing, and Nvidia's DLSS frame generation enabled as well. Now, you might be asking yourself, Gummy, why don't you capture all of this at 4K? Well, I do not have a 50 terabyte hard drive, firstly, and secondly, on a 4070 Ti Super, there is a lot of games that I can play completely maxed out. However, there is two games that brings my card to its knees, and this is one of them. At 4K, we are looking at 30 FPS gameplay with a maximum of 40 FPS. And at 1440p, we are looking at 70 to 80 FPS maximum with everything maxed out on this game. And the reason why this gameplay footage is so special to me is because it's using Cyberpunk's part tracing. And if you don't know what part tracing is, it's just basically if ray tracing had taken a whole bunch of steroids and beefed itself up and jacked itself the heck up for vacay, and kind of just went out and just messed things up. Like, that is it. I mean that in the best way possible, like Hulk smash kind of messed things up, because the amount of rays that's calculated in each and every single scene is 1,000 times more than what you'd find in traditional ray tracing. And with that being said, you'll see there is a handful of games on the market that offer proper part tracing, and Cyberpunk and Alan Wake is actually two of these games. Personally, I have not played Alan Wake 2 as of yet, but I have played Cyberpunk, and for me, this is surreal. With a lot of the footage captured here, and my previous footage, like in the scene here, for example, this looks absolutely realistic AF. And for me personally, that's one of the things I love so much about this game, is that, you know, I think a big part of games is, yes, moving from A to B, completing the quest, but a big part of games for me as well is just exploring the open world. And if you're someone like myself who loves FPS games, absolutely loves it, loves open world games, I'll be honest with you, Cyberpunk ticks all of those boxes. If we look at the scene here, for example, with part tracing enabled, I think this really elevates the scene to another level. And, you know, with the fact that this is not a scripted event, it's just a random event taking place, we are just walking in a street here, it feels surreal. It feels like something you'd see, you know, in real life. That guy was totally tripping out, probably, you know, took some of that that good, you know, but I guess that, you know, that stuff was probably laced, and now he is messing out there, you know. But if you look at some of the other scenes shown in this game, I think a lot of experiences from the player's side could be missed by just following the storyline. You know, I think it's up to the player ultimately to walk around and look at things for yourself. But, you know, with that aside, if we had to look at the performance of this game, everything here is absolutely maxed out. My GPU performs at around 65 degrees Celsius, and that's perfect. I mean, for the outcome that we have, I think the performance is very stable. In terms of crashes, never really had any crashes. I'd say outside of Vortex crashing, which was very seldom in itself. It's very stable and smooth, and yeah, I really just want to share some of this with you today, because I feel like not a lot of people are talking about Cyberpunk in its 2025 state. In my humble opinion, Cyberpunk in its 2025 state will not even be the state of some AAA games in 2028, because of the level, you know, of, or I should say the standard of gameplay and the standard of quality that we receive here from this game. It's truly on another level. Please bear in mind there is a lot being used here. You know, there's about 80 mods that are used in Vortex for this game, and you know, you could argue everything, the experience, the gameplay experience fundamentally is the same. There's nothing changed on that level, but there is a lot that's in place, and you know, there are car mods and so forth that's in place as well, and maybe some, you know, 8K skin textures. But no, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I don't have space for that. But yeah, we can have a look at this, and you know, I think not a lot of people have appreciated Cyberpunk for what it is today. I think with the initial launch of it, it kind of left a little bit of a sour taste in some players' mouths, especially PS4 players. I don't want to bash on PS4 players because it was CD Projekt Red's decision to release on previous gen consoles, which I would hope is something that further future games are aware of and perhaps just bar from the beginning, like we are seeing in GTA 6, for example. If we had to stack this footage up compared to some of the footage we had seen in GTA 6's trailer, in my personal opinion, as beautiful as GTA 6 is, I would say for a 5-year-old game such as this, on an engine that's developed in-house, the Red engine, I'll be honest, I think this is something that can stand up against the greatest of the greats. And when I say that, I don't just mean for games released today. I mean that for games released, in 5-10 years' time, just because of how high a standard Cyberpunk has managed to set with the current offerings that it has, especially if you do have a PC and you are playing on an Nvidia card. AMD guys, I'm sorry. I mean, pod tracing is there for you guys. I just don't know how well it would perform, for you. And I think there's a lot that could be left to decide without pod tracing enabled. But at the end of the day, if you're an Nvidia user, this is what you can expect, the level of quality that you can expect. And if I'm being truly honest, I would ask people, what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about this footage? Is this something that you find appealing? For me personally, the color grading is perfect with the LUT that's been applied, and I would hope that for future reference, other game developers take note of this. We have seen a good color shade or good color grading in GTA 6 that's vastly different to the offerings of 5. And I think that Rockstar Studios has taken note of what is possible today. And I think this is a good example of what is possible when you put a lot that is more realistic into a game. I understand, games like Borderlands, for example, is stylized in a certain way, but for me personally, this is perfect. I mean, if I could be running around, having Nuketown styled battles with people here, I'd love it, and we do have that here. I unfortunately just don't really capture that much, that much footage, more just walk around, look at stuff kind of guy, and I think that's what I love so much about like Minecraft, for example. Once I've built something, usually just spend a couple days in there just dwelling in it, looking at stuff, and I think once that novelty passes on, we move on to the next thing, but with the amount of effort that's been put in from CD Projekt Red's end, this is definitely something worth picking up in 2025 if you haven't already. I can't speak to console players per se, but from the experience that I had at that time, it was beautiful. It was perfect, and one of the most immersive games that is currently out to date. And I think, just kind of wrap things up a little bit, this is really just footage that I wanted to show people what is going on currently out there. This is what the ceiling or the roof of Cyberpunk looks like. And I would say as well what the standard for games that are of a AAA origin should be looking like in the future. Understandably, not everybody wants to have a LUT that looks like this, or not everybody wants to put as much details into it. We've seen a lot of slapdash efforts by AAA studios in 2025, but let this video be a stern reminder to every single person out there that this is the quality and standard that we as the players expect from AAA studios. It might have taken CD Projekt Red 5 years to kind of wrap this up and put this out there, but for the next 10 years, I would say maybe potentially the next 15 years, this game is going to be standing head to head with other graphical giants that come out, gameplay giants that come out. Understandably, graphics isn't everything. If you look at things from an RPG perspective wise, it is beautiful. It is perfect. But yeah, guys, if you enjoy this video, you like some of the footage that's here today, or if you agree with some of the opinions, or you disagree with some of the opinions that I've put in this video, please put in the comment section. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a talk. And yeah, let's hope that we see positive changes in the AAA market moving forward, especially considering we have this diamond right here in front of our eyes today. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been Gummy, and it's been a pleasure to chat with you and hang out. There will be more videos coming soon, but until then, guys, take it easy, and yeah, don't forget, be kind. Be kind. That's the most important thing, is be kind.